a new day. And so for us to be in this room at this particular time, it is for a particular reason. I don't believe that I had the opportunity to hug President Obama, sit at the table, talk about some of these issues, and to be a first-time nonviolent drug offender. I don't think the nonviolent thing should be even taken into consideration. When you think of the kind of time that's being divvied out to mostly people of color, there comes a time, and that time is now. And so it breaks my heart, Sharonda. I'm Kemba. I've received a 24-and-a-half-year sentence. I served 6.5 years. President Clinton granted me executive clemency. LDF, the Legal Defense Fund, they took on my case pro bono. There was a movement to bring me home. I became committed once I came home, regardless of the pain of telling this story over and over again. I give all of you all credit for coming here and revisiting this, even with us being in each other's presence. Ramona Brandt, we were incarcerated together. She was the choir director in the prison where I was. And so when I reconnect with some of these women, PST, some of those emotions come right back to me. But going back to the time is now, and I'm so empowered for us to be in the same room. And I hope that there can be organizations that come together so that we can not just have this one-time moment. Our voices, know the power of your voice. When I first came home, I didn't know the power of my voice. That power of my voice has carried me many places. I don't have a job. If I was like anybody else and applied for a job, I would have a hard time getting one. My voice is what has helped me be where I am, allows me to be able to make a living. But don't be embarrassed or ashamed to share your voice. But with us coming together, I feel like in hearing some of these stories that we can be making impact to our youth on the front end, making impact to our legislators on the front end. And Sharonda Jones, the last thing I'm going to say before I sit down, where are you? Raise your hand. I heard you, my sister, and I was just like you because you are just so blessed to have the president release you from prison. But as a first-time offender, serving 17 years, getting a life sentence, I hope at some point you elevate to the point of, you know what, thank you, God, but at the same time, this was not right. I shouldn't have been there in the first place. And so there need to be alternatives to incarceration because I missed out on 6.5 years with that young man right there, Armani Smith. And you'll hear me talk about some of the trauma, but I am so grateful to have him with me and for him to be graduating college because I wasn't supposed to be released until January 2016 this year, and I would have been at his college graduation, but I'm so grateful for the time that I've had to bond with him. But it's time for others to have the opportunity. William Underwood's father, his daughters, I don't know if Mikkel West is in the room, but her mom, Mikkel, raise your hand. Okay, all right. Well, they need their parents home. So thank you all for coming. Nikichi, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for everything that you've done to make this happen.